Hi viewers, today we will speak with the team of Cancrie. So Cancrie is a Jaipur-based startup that is focusing on developing advanced materials for energy storage solutions. They have their own patented technology that produces nanocarbon materials from coconut shells, and they've recently raised $1.2 million in a seed fund. So that funding round was raised by led by Root Ventures along with some other investors. And we have Dr. Akshay Jain, Mahi Singh, the co-founders of Cancrie. And we also have Amitej with us, who heads the product development team there. So welcome to this podcast, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Akshay.
Thank you so much.
And so Akshay and Mahi, if can you tell us about your backgrounds and also about how the thought of founding Cancrie came to you?
So I'll start. I'm Mahi, one of the co-founders and CEO at Cancrie. I did my master's from NTU Singapore, and I worked in Singapore for a couple of years, mainly in marketing and strategy background. And then in 2019, I came back to India, where I started another startup. And I was also inclined towards sustainability, where I was a climate coach, where I was helping teams across the world in reducing CO2 emissions in real time. And in 2020, Akshay was looking for a co-founder for his technology, where this amazing technology, what it does, it has the potential of transforming millions of tons of waste into advanced nanomaterials. And that's when we combined forces and started Cancrie on 2nd August 2020.
All right, great.
Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm a chemical engineer and a co-founder and CEO at Cancrie. I did my PhD from National University of Singapore, and that is where all this idea started, where I was given with the task of upcycling the waste, and it was a project under National Environmental Agency that we have to upcycle the waste, but not only recycle. So we tried with multiple products. We started with converting agri-waste into fertilizers. We also converted into low-cost fuels, low-cost adsorbents, and then finally, we came up with this product which was nanocarbons, and which has its applications in the energy storage like batteries and capacitors. So that is where almost after 1.5 years, this product was invented, and then after that 3+ years into it, and then we did a lot of iterations. More than 250+ products was created and optimized, and then finally we came up with this technology where we produce very optimized product which can be used inside the batteries for its high performance. So that was somewhere, I would say, at the end of my PhD. After that, I worked for another 3.5 years in the national lab in Singapore. And after that, this idea, came to our mind, like, where can we actually take this product into the market by ourselves? And that is where this whole journey started. In August 2020. We incorporated Cancrie and started this journey, and very much related to what we were building at during my PhD, which was about recycling, upcycling of this waste, converting to the nanocarbons. The only challenge was its cost, where we have to make it to a level that it's commercially feasible. Labs, there's a lot of technologies, but when it comes to the market, we have to make it commercially feasible. So that was the main crux line of the startup when we started working on it. Until date, that is where we are. We are somewhere close to the market, and selling this product now at a commercial feasible prices.
Right. And what exactly is the science behind Cancrie Carbons? I mean, I know that it is used in the electrodes, in the energy storage systems, in the batteries. But what exactly and how does it work, and why is it more efficient than the existing systems?
So before answering, I'll have these technological guys answer this. I wanted to also touch upon the word Cancrie. So Cancrie is a planet which is trillions of miles away, and it is made up of highest quality of carbons in the form of diamonds and graphite that can be used in batteries. So we say that you don't have to go trillion miles away to get those premium quality carbons. We are making this on this planet Earth here in Jaipur, Rajasthan. So yeah, now over to you guys to explain the technology.
I can talk a little bit about the material part, and then I'll pass it to Amitej, like how it works in the battery. Now, from the material aspect, why it is so special and why it is working so well in the batteries. So what we have done is, it's a patented process. So we start with the waste, and it undergoes almost 6 steps before we get the final product. Now, in few of these steps, what we do is this waste is enhanced to a very high quality precursor or a high quality char, which is very responsible for creating a high quality nanocarbons. Now, what exactly happens in the process? If we play with 7 important parameters, and that is something we tweak, that is something we optimize in order to get the fine quality carbons which works for a battery. So what are those 7 parameters? It's surface areas, pore sizes, pore volume, conductivity, functionalities, particle sizes, and purity levels. These 7 parameters are extremely important for its performance, and that is what our patented process allows us to tweak it so that it works in the battery. Now, how it works in the battery? Over to you, Amitej.
Yeah, I just a brief background of myself before starting on this. So I'm also a chemical engineer. I've done my graduation from ICT Mumbai, Institute of Chemical Technology. Then afterwards, I've also done my master's in energy engineering from IIT Kanpur. My background is I'm a process engineer, mainly an energy storage enthusiast as well. So yeah, over here I take care of the transition between materials to the batteries. So just to add on to Akshay's point, the materials the properties that he's talking about, surface areas and pore volume, these are so important in a batteries, because in battery, the main agenda of a battery is to provide current, to provide capacity. So for that to happen, there are certain electrochemical reactions which happen on the electrode surface. Now let's say, imagine a battery which does not have any surface, any contact area for the reactions to happen. It will obviously provide lesser current. So our job over here is to provide more surface area to the electrode and also enable more electrolyte to penetrate inside the electrode surface and get access to the active material inside. And by that way, we are increasing the specific energy, the energy output of a battery. So very simply put, this is what we do inside a battery.
Alright, thanks for that. So, what are the possible use case applications for the Cancrie Carbons? So, apart from energy storage, do you have some other applications also in mind that could be explored in the future?
Yes, absolutely. So, when we started this work, basically we started with a very simple applications where we use these carbons for applications like water, air, like water treatment, air purification. We also used it for the pharmaceuticals. We also used as a catalyst for enzymes. A lot of these applications were already tried and it has worked fantastically well there as well. Now, definitely we are making these premium carbons of a very high quality. The small amount goes in and it increases the performance. And that is where we found our niche market in the batteries. That is where these value of the carbon comes up in a more dramatic way. So therefore, in batteries also, if you really see, there are a lot of battery chemistries where these carbons can go and perform, and that is where our focus is on. Starting with lead acid, lithium ion, sodium ion, redox flow batteries, fuel cells, electrolyzers. These are some of these applications where this can perform fantastically well. And out of these applications, we've already tried with 4 of these, which is lead acid, lithium ion, sodium ion, and flow batteries is something we already have a POC and started commercializing.
And are there any downsides to using Cancrie Carbons also, or any specific challenges in terms of availability of source material or in terms of logistics or something else?
Mahi, you have any point to add here?
I think the only issue is that the availability of Cancrie Carbon itself, that's we're working on, because we have more demand than we can supply.
Okay.
In terms of waste availability, we have that abundantly.
Yeah.
For last over 3 years, what we have done is we have identified multiple sources of these waste to ensure that there's a consistent supply in terms of both quality and quantity. So that has been taken care of. Everything else in terms of raw materials, machinery, everything is easily available in India. So we do not have to depend on a very sophisticated supply chain that can be easily achieved. So I think the only issue is that we need to make more and more Cancrie Carbons to be out in the market. But yeah, Akshay, if you have anything else to add on?
No, I think that's right. Like we have good demand coming in. So of course, one thing is we really have to scale up fast because the orders are waiting and then we have to satisfy these customers. So that is one thing. Now, of course, when we are talking about, any downsides, as you really see, like there is no downside. What we have seen, we have tested up till 3.5 years of the testing have gone into the batteries. We have seen the life cycle at the actual rates, not the accelerated rates, but the actual rates. And so far, everything is fine. There is no detrimental effect to the batteries. Of course, there are a lot of advantages. efficiency in terms of faster charging, in terms of strength of the electrodes, many other advantages are there. One thing, of course, what happens is when we use these carbons in any of these batteries, because there are little difference in the physical properties compared to what other available market or what are the other available carbons are there in the market. Because of that, there has to be slight tweaking, not in the processing line, slight tweaking in the process, the way we incorporate it, that's it. But that's not a major change in the processing line of the manufacturers that can be easily handled. And that is why, the adoption is not a very major challenge as of now, because there is not a lot of things which needs to be changed in the processing line. But of course, slight change in the process is needed.
Right. And in terms of efficiency, can you comment not just in terms only of efficiency, also in terms of reduction in cost? Can you shed some light in terms of numbers? How much does your Cancrie Carbon help?
Sure, yeah, I can talk about it. So talking about battery, the most important element is the ampere hour efficiency, which is also called as coulombic efficiency. Now, for a general battery, coulombic efficiency ranges around 90 to 95% for both lead acid and lithium-ion batteries out there in the market. So we have consistently seen that we are 5% higher. For example, if a battery is providing 92% of ampere hour efficiency, we will provide 97 to 98%. Like we have gotten to like closer to 100%, and we have in some cases also gotten 100% coulombic efficiency as well. So that is one point. Meaning, what does it translate to the end user? Is like you need to put in exactly that much amount of energy that you need to withdraw out of it. No need to provide extra energy. Extra energy means more bills, right? So that is why it is an energy saver, the extra ampere hour efficiency that we're giving. The second most important part is, let's say, I'll explain this with the help of an example. A e-rickshaw driver is using a lead acid battery today. So rather than 3 people, 4 people are sitting on the e-rickshaw. So by default, the load is much more, than the motor is ready to take. So it extracts more current out of the battery. And by that way, the battery reduces the energy output. But with our carbon inside it, we have showcased that even at higher loads, higher current rates, the capacity retains and we provide the same mileage. The third most important thing is the life cycle. So consistently, as Akshay mentioned, that we have been doing this testing at international labs for 3 years now, where we have replicated the field into the lab simulation. And we've seen that very recently, 1200 cycles have been completed, whereas control battery was around 960 cycles. So we can confidently say now the life cycle is around 30% extra, which means for the battery manufacturers, it means either they can reduce on their warranty returns or they can upsell it by increasing the warranty period.
Right. No, I think that's a big advantage, because especially in the lead acid battery segment, I mean, the time frame for replacement can be increased using our technology. So that holds a lot of significance. And cost-wise, since it's made from waste materials, does it result in lower costs for the battery OEMs?
I can talk a little bit about the costing here. So if you see, we have, if we compare with the other carbons, what is available in the market, we are little expensive, because this process, what we are using, and the entire quality of the carbon is very premium. So therefore we are expensive. However, very important thing to note here is that how much amount of material which goes in is extremely important, and how much amount it adds onto the cost of a battery is very important. Now, for example, one battery, if it is costing 10,000 rupees, what our material goes as the additional cost is roughly in the range of 10 to 20 rupees only. So it's only 0.1% to 0.2% increment in the cost of a battery. Now, this is something already negligible, and when we speak to battery manufacturers, they generally, it's a very small amount for them also. But at the same time, what the advantages we give to them efficiency is higher, life cycle is higher. Because of that, the warranty returns is definitely much better, reduced. Because the life is better. But other than that, if you also see, charge acceptance has gone up to by 60%. Then the strength of the electrodes has gone up by 4 times. So such advantages comes in a battery by just an addition of 0.1% to 0.2% only.
Right.
So now talking about a little bit also on the cost, this is the advantages of this. But let's say when we're looking from the battery manufacturer's perspective, by increasing the warranty returns from, let's say, 6 months to 9 months, warranty period, they can easily upsell their batteries by 500 rupees to 600 rupees.
Right.
So it's a win-win situation for a battery manufacturers, because they're also increasing the quality, but also quantitatively they can make a lot of money there.
Right. Makes sense. And are your materials, are they also suitable for large-scale industrial energy storage applications?
Yes, absolutely.
We have actually deployed like 35,000 batteries out there in the market.
Oh, so that was the next question. Now that we've come to that. So what's the current scale of operations, and also if you can share who all are you working with currently?
Yeah, we actually have a pilot capacity. We started off with a pilot capacity of say 150 grams a day per batch. Now with increasing demand and more product development happening, now we are at a scale of 550 kg per month.
Okay.
Meaning around 2 to 2.5 kgs a day is the production capacity of today. The aim is to go to a capacity of 500 kgs to 1 ton a month, because that's how the demand is. One of the customers is actually demanding 2 tons a month, but in a gradual manner. So, and we are working with a couple of customers, like one is based out of Manesar in Gurgaon, one is based out of Pune. All the product development trials that we did was based out of a Mumbai manufacturer.
Right. That's great to hear. And in terms of capacity, where you mentioned 1 ton or 2 tons, so in terms, how does it translate in terms of number of batteries?
So when we talk about these numbers here, like one battery, if it is of 100 ampere hour, it will use a different quantity of the material. If it is 200 ampere hour, it will use double amount of material. So I'll take one case study for an inverter battery, which is roughly in the range of 150 ampere hour battery. We use around 20 grams of our carbon material inside one battery.
Okay.
So therefore, like when we are saying this, 35,000 batteries have already gone into the market, which is mainly into the e-rickshaw segment. That is where, we have made it, which is roughly equivalent to 35 megawatt.
Yeah.
Right?
35 megawatt hour. 35 megawatt hour batteries have already been deployed in the market. And to answer your question, Akshay, at a scale of 500 kg per month, we'll be catering to batteries of 25,000 to 30,000 batteries a month. That is the scale that we'll be catering to.
All right. And where is your facility located, and with the recent funding that you've just received, what are your plans for expansion and future growth?
So we are based out of Jaipur, and just to also tell you what the scale that we have achieved. So we started with like a 12 by 15 square feet of room. We had like 3 small furnaces, off-the-shelf furnaces, where we had been making 150 grams per batch, to another facility in Sitapura, in Jaipur, where we were making that was like a 2,500 square feet of area, to now this current facility where we are. It's in Ramchandrapura, part of Sitapura, Jaipur industrial area. This is like a 25,000 square feet area. So the whole idea is here we can easily cater up to 4.5 tons a month within the same facility in the coming years. So that is the scale that we're looking at. And yeah, so we are in Jaipur, and it's specifically because both Akshay and I are from Jaipur. So that's why we had chosen this place.
Right. So, say 5 years from now or 10 years from now, how much of a market share in the e-mobility segment do you envision you can capture?
Right. So currently, like if you see, I'll start from where we are today, and then I will, touch upon how we are growing. So if you really see today's where we are sitting, as you know, we were producing at a pallet scale at 50 kilograms a month, and now we have gotten this funding, which will enable us to go to at least 500 to maybe 500 kilo to 1 ton. We are planning for 1 ton by buying, little bigger machines and all that. So, which is roughly equivalent to maybe if you are making e-rickshaw batteries, it will be roughly equivalent to 1 lakh batteries a month is something we are planning to cater to. This is something which we are planning in the very near future, maybe 4 to 5 months down the line, because we already have those orders in hand. Talking about how we are planning to go further from there would be, from there, we already have more and more orders definitely today also, but don't have the capacity. But going further, we are planning to go to 5 tons per month capacity. And that is something we can do in the same facility where we are sitting today. And that is how we've selected this facility. So this is something we are planning by 2027. We should be able to touch 5 tons a month. And then eventually, if you really see how big is the market, I'll just give you a very simple example. If you're talking about companies like Livguard, Luminous Excite, all these, bigger companies, they have the consumption of around 10 tons a month. Just one player, just for Indian production. This is how the capacity looks like. So therefore, and there are many other MSMEs and the, tier 2 manufacturers of this. So our plan is by 2027 late or 2028 sometime, we are planning to go to 20 tons per month. And for that, we've already started a little bit of our planning with the Rajasthan government and signed an MOU for that to take a bigger land. So by 2028, at least we're targeting 20 tons per month. And getting those orders will not be a very big deal because, as I said, the consumption from just one player is in the range of 10 tons a month.
Right.
Just to add on to that point, so Indian market today, the demand is around 3 to 4 tons a day. This is the demand. And Indian market is just 5% of the global battery market. So that's how huge the demand is.
Yeah.
Right. Now I understand. It all sounds very, very exciting. And I wish you all the very best for your future plans. And I'll plan to come and visit you because I'm based out of Chandigarh, so it's pretty close by. Whenever possible. And so no more questions from my side. If you have anything more to add, please feel free to do so.
Yeah, I just had a point. I just wanted to highlight on certain environmental aspects that our innovation brings to the market. So conventionally, people have been using carbons which use fossil fuel as a feedstock, as a source, precursor. Now, since our invention is something which uses lignocellulosic waste and biomass as a precursor, so it's very different. It brings in different properties. It brings in different kind of green, it brings in lesser greenhouse gas footprint. So we have made some calculations. We have done life cycle analysis of our carbons versus the conventionally available carbons and how much it mitigates. So 13 times, our product has 13 times lesser carbon footprint when it comes to the precursor only.
Okay.
And since we are improving the life of the batteries and we are reducing the amount of critical metals required to cater to the battery demand, means that we are actually saving like 0.25 to 0.5 kg CO2 equivalent per battery. So if you convert it into like the demand and how is it going, by 2030 we aim to reach to a level of 1 gigaton of CO2 equivalent mitigation.
Okay.
This is the kind of, so ours is, other than cost effectiveness and other than performance advantages and material advantages, environmental aspect is also one thing that we try to focus on.
Yeah. And also very importantly, what we are also is going to target in a very, very near future is about, the carbon credits where we can also provide certain level of advantages to the customers, because if they're using this green product, definitely that has also quantitative advantages, right? Because now it's a big thing coming up. So we are planning to get into that also. We are getting into some calculations how we can make it quantifiable for our customers. And also one point what Amitej have added is about the requirement of the lesser critical material, which means lesser mining. But also if the life cycle of the battery goes up, which means if the overall batteries what is available on the planet Earth at a particular time is reduced, what it also means is that it is also contributing to the lesser and lesser of electronic waste, which is also becoming a major problem on the Earth today. So like that, sustainability wise, from the material side, we are more sustainable. From the performance side, we are getting higher efficiency, lower mining and lower e-waste. So in that way, it is kind of contributing to the environment as well.
Right. So you're also, like apart from battery OEMs, are you also collaborating or working with companies in the battery material space, like maybe Epsilon or someone else? I mean, those companies might also have certain synergies with your technology. So,
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think now looking at this energy storage market, the kind of demand it caters, or rather the amount of material they need, more the companies, better it is. That's how it is, because such a demand is coming up. So these companies, a lot of companies are coming in, producing many kind of raw materials for the batteries, be it Epsilon or be it other companies who are working on, LFP making, making it high quality LFP or NFP. All these kind of companies are coming up. Cancrie is one of them, and, definitely different from them, and how we are enhancing the performance of the battery. So, yes, of course. And I foresee like there must be many other companies who would be needed to really cater to the demand, what is going to come up in the future.
Because I think that's the key, wherein we may have a lot of technologies, but if the supply chain is not there properly, we will not be able to accelerate that, because the adoption rate will be lower. And that's exactly what we are working on, reducing the dollar per kilowatt hour, ensuring that the supply chain is not dependent on critical material, but rather sustainable material. So that's what Cancrie envisions, a greener and quicker energy transition.
Yeah.
right. And are you also exploring like other source materials apart from carbon shells?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely, we are. We actually tried with 15 different kinds already, and be it coconut shells, coconut husks. Then we've used palm kernel shells, sugarcane bagasse, paper waste. We have also tried with hair waste. We've also tried with chicken poop, municipal waste sludge. We have tried with multiple waste. But when it comes to the commercialize, bamboo. So many things we are trying, and of course the most important criteria is its commercial feasibility and the quality, whether it's available to us or not. So these are the two criteria. So coconut shell is one of them, but there are few more candidates which is passing these two criteria. So we will be working on that as well in the very near future.
Right. Well, wish you all the very best, and really happy to speak with you. And it's very interesting to learn about the work that you're doing. So
thank you so much, Akshay. It was really pleasure talking to you. It's all pleasure is ours.
yeah, thank you. Take care.
Thank you so much, Akshay.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care.